everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream. We are live and we are doing question time, a live stream where we get to answer your questions regarding Unreal Engine, game dev, or anything you want to ask at all. The world is yours to ask me whatever you like. So all you have to do is put your question in the chat, and I'll try and grab as many questions as I can within the hour that we are here live. Hello everyone in chat, hopefully everyone's doing okay. Give me a second, I'm just going to put my glasses on so I don't go blind before I'm 40. There you go. There we go. These need cleaning. Jesus, that's bad. Okay, so hello, hi Robin, hi Iron Thumbs, hello Lottie, Zay, hello Metish, hello, hi Bobby, Nutwatchy, hello. Excellent. So I see we've got a load of questions flooding in already, so we'll jump over into answering them right away. Mackie D's. Okay, next time. So the first question I saw is Matshish. How can I check how many actors are detecting a sphere trace? Because it looks like it detects only one at a time. Right, so you want to use a multi-sphere trace. But one key point about multi-traces, that's multi-sphere, multi-line trace, any of them, is they will only return what they overlap and then stop when they get blocked. So, for example, if I made a little line tracer, and we'll just make a little actor here to showcase this, so you can see what I mean. Okay, and I'm gonna make this thing do on tick line trace. I'll do a sphere trace so it's easy for you guys to see. Sphere trace. And do multi-sphere trace by channel, and we're gonna go get actor location, and we're gonna get actor forward vector, multiply that by distance. We'll do like 1,000 or something. I'll do like 2,000 actually, and we'll add that onto each other. And radius we'll do like 15, something like that. And the trace channel we'll set as visibility. Okay. This will return an array of hits. Okay, but the sphere trace in this case, will only return those that overlaps and then get blocked by it. So to demonstrate, let me put one frame on this debug so you can see this drawing this. Okay, so if I go to simulate. Okay, there's the line trace, okay, or sphere trace, sorry. So as you can see, it's going right across, and we've got no hits at the moment until it hits the wall. Okay, it's getting blocked and it's turning green. When it turns green, it means it's blocked and it's no longer receiving any more information. So what you need to do is have things overlap it if you want it to receive information. So for example, if I put in this cube here. Knowing it's the same texture, but never mind, I'll make it a bit bigger. And then like that. Notice how it gets blocked by the first block here. That's because this has been set to block visibility traces. If I change the collision on this to custom and we tell it to overlap visibility, you'll see the sphere trace goes through it. It still hits. We've got a little green square showing it hits, and it's adding it to the array. Then it goes right through and continues going through, and it hits this one. So this now returns 2 items, not just 1. So just make sure your overlap is set up for the object you want to overlap. And then, yeah, that's how that works. Klaus, will you be taking part in Unreal Mega Jam? Would love to, but I am super busy. Unfortunately, don't have the time to. I'm working on lots of projects at the moment, doing lots of training, and just don't have the time, unfortunately. What did you order? What's your standard McDonald's? A quarter pounder, cheese, double quarter pounder with cheese. That's it, really. Nothing fancy. I did it because I couldn't be bothered to cook. Question from Zay: Is it good to make an Is it good to make a actor that plays a sequence when the player collides? I mean, depends on the situation, but yeah, I guess I don't see what would cause problems with that. Yeah, that's fine. Lottie, how do you add chase music to an enemy AI that plays only while the chase phase and then fades out? Good question. So, we got the. Let me stop this. So the main thing you'll be dealing with is whether you've been detected or not. So you need to know whether or not you're part of a perception system and whether that's going to trigger something like that. What I would recommend is you have a music manager sort of class, and this music manager is in charge of playing what music should be played when, based upon various situations. So, I mean, I'm not going to do a full AI, we'll just do a basic one that just sees us. AI NPC. And I'll add the mesh. Sure. I'll just give this perception so you can see me. So I'm not making him chase me, I'll just make it so you can see me. So we add the event on target perception updated, and we do the checks. I'm not going to go fully into this because I don't want to go wasting time doing this, but we need to detect when they've seen us, so let's do that. And we'll do break. So at this point you'd probably have like a set blackboard value, or whatever. I don't have a blackboard in here, but I can get it anyway. Just so you can see what it looks like all together. Get blackboard. Set value as object. So on a very basic level, you have something like this. When they see you, okay. And the object value is a select node based on this. And if it's true, we'll pick that one, the player. Okay, so you have something basically like this, okay, where it's adding the player target actor to their behavior, so they know what to do and chase you. You need to also then tell something else to start playing music and managing music. Now, it's a bad idea to say play music here, because if you've got multiple AI, they're going to play multiple musics and restart it and all sorts of things. It'll cause mayhem. So it's a good idea to have like a music sort of manager, which is sort of in charge of things a little bit. So you make a blueprint class. This is why I'm doing it for Mimic anyway. So you'd have a music manager, and I mean you could also do this in the game mode if you want. We could do it in the game mode. There's no harm in doing it in the game mode. Let's do the game mode. Just because we've got it there already. Yeah, so in here we'll have like is chased, for example, and that's when we'll do like play music. Okay, play sound 2D. Okay, and you choose your sound. The AI NPC, when they trigger this, we want to say get game mode, and we have to tell the game mode to be passed to third person game mode, and to go is chase. Okay, so that's going to trigger that function, and then you just go over here, and this is where you put the logic indicating like whether it's already playing it or whatever. So rather than doing play sound, you do spawn sound 2D. And the reason why you do spawn sound is because you want the return value. So we just choose some music. I don't know. There's some starter music or something, isn't there? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, return value promote to variable, and we call that one chase music. Okay. So before you spawn it and play it, you do a check to see if the chase music is valid. It's valid. If it's not valid, it'll play music. Okay. Yeah. So that way you don't trigger multiple times and things like that. And then whatever logic you may want to put on it too, like changing it based upon the health of the character or whatever it is you may like to do. The game mode's a fine place to do it. But I'm personally using a separate actor for it, just so I've got a separate thing managing it a little bit easier. But there's no harm in doing it this way too. So if I put him in... Oh, no, that's not me. NPC. So, oh, I've got to add site. Actually, add site to him. Oops. Site. Yeah, no, something simple like that. So, oh, simulate. Keyboard, there we go. Okay. So he's like chasing me. You'll then need to know whether or not you want to stop the chase music. Okay, so if this is successfully sensed as true, it's going through here. Yeah, you want to maybe keep track of who's chasing you. Maybe that way you can know if anyone's chasing you. You can check if anyone's still chasing you. There's loads of ways you can do it. So I can go to is chase, for example, and get an actor reference. Oh. And chaser, and you'll just add that to an array of chasers. So you're keeping track of who's chasing you. Actor, and that'd be an array. You just do add unique. Like that. Okay. So back on the AI NPC, just put in self here, and it sends them over to that. Now, if you want to, you can also make this same function manage it to add chasers and remove chasers from the list. So with the is chase, you could say if this is not valid, it's valid. If it is valid, sorry, it'll carry on with the add unique. But if it's not valid, you can remove it from the list too. So we get that and do remove item and the chaser. I'm going to remove that and then go back up to no. What do I want to do? Oh yeah, then we want to tell it to stop playing music if we've got nothing left in our chaser array. So chaser is empty. Like that. And this means the chase music will stop when only you've got no one else chasing you. So chase music here, we'll tell it to this fade out. Yeah, there we go, fade out. So let's put that as like 5 seconds. And so I go into here. Why is it not fading out? It should be fading out. So it's now frozen. Give it a second. While it's just deciding what it wants to do, crash or whatever. There we go. What are these problems? Oh, blackboard. Yeah, we ain't got a blackboard, so let me just take that out because that's causing issues. Let's just skip that. There you go. Oh, I forgot to make it chased here. Do this bit here. Sorry. This will be a select node now, and the successfully sensed would go into there. It's true. If picking itself, it's false. It'd be nothing. There we go. So that will handle both adding in, removing it. Yeah. So that should now do that. Why are you doing it? Game mode. Remove. Well, let's check it out. If I... Oh, wait, did I... Oh, that's right. Let me just add this to a breakpoint. That should be working. Yep, so remove that chaser. Oh! Silly me. That won't work because chaser's not valid. Silly me. Dumb. Right, rather than a valid, then we'll just make a branch. And we'll just make that a condition instead. Whoops. There you go. That's fine. Yeah, the reason why it wasn't working because I was simultaneously passing through saying, if it's not valid, remove it from the thing. That makes no sense because I don't know what I'm removing. This makes more sense. So I'm always passing through who the chaser is regardless of that. So, let me just take off that breakpoint. Oh, I did. Okay. Okay, and it fades out. Now, because it supports multiple characters, so let's say he's chasing me, but I put another character here who's also chasing me. When the first guy loses sight of me, the music won't stop because the other character's still seeing me. So if I hide from both of them, it'll fade out. Yeah. So you can do something like that to help manage that system of like who's chasing who, etc. But yeah, there you go. There you go, Lottie. Hopefully that gives you some ideas of where you can go with that. So it's quite flexible. Do what you like with it. Okay, next question. Oh my god, I've got loads of questions. First of all, I'm going to go to Discord because on Discord we have question time queue jump. So if you're a Patreon member and you can't make the live shows, don't fret. You can just put your question ahead of time in our question time queue jump and get your answers ahead of time. So we've got one question this week from Bobby Roshag, who's asking, could you show how to cleanly delete files without getting a bunch of reference errors? Deleting things in Unreal is really annoying sometimes. I changed the name of the non-related anim BP and this happens. He sent me a screenshot. I mean, it's could cause some data loss. Well, generally speaking, when you're adding and removing, I'll just general terms while we're here, is whenever you are moving and deleting things from your content browser, what it's actually doing is leaving behind redirectors. Redirectors are little hidden files which help point to where the files are now. So when you move them, it's going to leave behind a little shadow and say, hey, it's over here now. Which can get a bit messy, especially when you start moving things about a lot. So you typically want to, when you're deleting things, is clean up the redirectors as well. So you do that. I've got nothing here to delete, so I won't bother deleting. But you do it by just right-clicking on a folder and going up to fix up redirectors, and now just clean them up, make sure they're pointed to the right place. Especially if you're deleting folders and the folders don't delete, it's because of the redirectors are still in there. Just do fix up the redirectors, it'll clear it out, and done. Okay. If in doubt, you can also go to validate assets folder to make sure everything is in there is okay and no weird problems with anything that's in there. But try those first of all. Bobby, sorry. Next question. Next question. I'm just going to scroll up and pick one at random because there's so many. Sans Undertale question: how do you decide which landscape settings work best for you? Is there somewhere you can find examples for reference? By the settings, are you talking about the sizes of them? Sorry, like here. So these sizes here just depend on the resolution that you want to go for. So how much detail do you need in your landscape? if you are doing with something that's going to be really detailed and lots of little tiny little details like little raises and bumps and things like that, you want it as high resolution as possible. That means as many squares in the smallest amount of space. So you may do like a section size of 63 by 63, but you may increase the number of components, for example. And when you do that, you can see the overall resolution gets up a bit more. So if I change that to like say 16 by 16, and we can even scale this down as well. Get it scale to 100. If you never noticed that, it does that. So if I go like 50 by 50 by 50, this is now a lot more compacted in. Okay, so I have a lot more stuff. And when I click create on this, it means I can do a lot more detailed landscaping. So yeah, if I go, yeah, you have a greater resolution, so you're going to see like much smoother curves and things. So it depends on how much detail you want to add to it. I don't really like adding lots of detail to the landscape. I like to use the landscape as a like a stencil, like a template. I'm going to build my world on, and for like general like elevation and working out the elevation I need to use, typically will be fine. But yeah, I can like take it down to like 1. Oh, no, maybe not 1. We'll do 10. There we go. And I can add little adjustments to it. You know. But that's how it depends on how detailed you want it, and how you want to work. But yeah, that's that. Let me just bring the landscape down a bit. I'll keep it in there because we never know, might need it again. Where are you? We just change its height again to -10. There you go. Next question. Hello everyone. Sorry everyone saying hello. I'm missing you. Hello. Vincent Redgrave. Just wanted to bring our question forward. I'm trying to make a node-based skill system with categories. Is it better to auto-populate the categories or manually set the skills? If the former, how? I'm not entirely certain what kind of setup you're trying to do, but I would imagine what you're trying to do is like different, like if you're doing like a skill system and you want to set the skills to be like axes, magic, guns, you know, whatever nonsense you want, in different trees or different skill paths. It's up to you how you want to go about this, really. But generally speaking, if something is not dynamic, something is going to be static in its placement, static in its design, it's not being influenced a lot, like a skill tree normally is. A skill tree is pretty static. You don't generally generate them live. You would make them static and place these things manually by hand, which is what I'd probably do in your case. So something like the World of Warcraft skill tree system, like that, that's all placed by hand. That would be placed dynamically, because then you can place it and then do the correct linkages and right positioning, without having to mess about with stuff like that. So if general rule of thumb, if it's not going to be changing dynamically in the game, keep it static. It makes life a lot easier. Next question. Matt Black, short question. Can a person make a multiplayer game with visual scripting? Yes. And short answer. Hi, Ryan Lady. Is it possible to make a dynamic, realistic tree chopping like Sons of the Forest using Chaos Destruction in Unreal Engine? Yeah, kind of. But there's another way you could do it. I'll show you the other way. That people don't actually know about too much about this. So if I make another actor here, do my pseudo tree. We'll go in here and just give it a mesh. In fact, actually, let's bring in an actual tree. Let's actually make it look half decent. I'm also going to show you a different problem you have with trees. Because we had this problem before with someone else, and we eventually solved it. But yeah, it caused some issues. Give me a second. Let me just bring something in. Add to project. Question time 107. Add to project. Okay, so I've built in a tree. Like this, for example. Okay. So let's say I want to cut this thing, okay, and make it fall down. You can actually do this. You can make a mesh that you can cut and slice up however you want. If you just go to the... Oh, God. This, now, I'm forgetting now what I have to do. You have to go into the components. There's a component for it. Oh, nuts. What was it called? So... Oh my god. It's something mesh. So if I type in mesh, hold on. No. Cannot remember what it's called. Procedural state mesh. That's it. Yeah. Procedural mesh allows you to specify custom triangle mesh geometry. I believe, is it that one? No. Hang on. Let me look up documentation. I can't remember what it is called. Yeah. So you need a procedural mesh. Procedural mesh, not static mesh. There you go. And you, well, let's say when we bump into it, hit event hit. You do something called slice procedural mesh. And you plug that into there, for example. And you'll create the other half. Cap, we'll leave as no cap for now. Procedural mesh. We have to give it a... Ah, my god, I can't remember how we do this now. You have to give it... I think you have to give it a parent static mesh, don't you? I think it's something like that. And give that there. And add that to that. Add that to that. Yeah, try and remember now. I think it's something like this. And you slice the procedural mesh at the plane position, which will do like, we'll raise up by like 100, for example. Plane normal will do 1 in the Z. Yeah, do that. I'll tell you what, rather than doing hit, because I want to make sure the hit doesn't cause an issue, just to do begin play. Ooh, hello. No. You have to set mesh, don't you? Set mesh. Set mesh. I cannot remember this at all. Hang on. Ah, yeah. It's not. It's copy. That's it. Procedural mesh from state mesh component. There we go. We'll do that begin play. State mesh component goes there, and that'll do that. And then we'll go down there. I don't think you make this thing invisible. Make it hidden game. Yeah, so you can see the cut there. It's happened. So you see the cut. So yeah, that's what you're seeing now. Allow CPU access. Turn it on. Okay, so when you slice it, you give it the position you want to slice it at, and it's normal. Which way is it like facing, basically? And then you can give it a cap as well. So at the moment, it won't cap it unless you tell it to. You can then make it do a different material. So do like, let's do use the last section for cap. Okay, and you can give it a cap material. So like pink one. There you go. And then this will give you two meshes. So it'll give you the other half here, and you have the other procedural half. So this other half here, I can then do simulate physics on it. Simulate. And then it should. Oh, we've got issues. Oh, wait, it's cutting it again and again and again. That's why. Whoops. Whoop, 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 whoop. I've just got to put it on hit. Turn off hit. There you go. There we go. Right, can I push this thing over yet? No. Hang on. Let me just add an angle to it. We'll do 0.5 of a cut there too. Fucking. Simulate physics on that bit. I'll tell you there's other mesh as well to do it too. All over, damn it. Let me just put it like that. For God's sake. Sorry, I can't remember all of this. I've got the normal wrong. One. Oh wait, it's down here. Why are you not moving? Let me get the actual location. So it spawns locally. Plus 100. No. And we'll just give that a bit of rotation now. It should be better off. Yeah, there's a cut. Don't doing anything though. What am I missing? Great over let's make physics. Oh, create collision. Maybe I need to do that. Why won't it fall? Maybe it's because I've got complex as simple. Just enable physics straight away. Or hard. Oh. Right, there you go. There's the 2 pieces. So, let me just put that back. So, yeah, it's because I complex simple. If you have complex on, physics simulations don't tend to work too well, if at all. So, that'd probably be why it won't work. Anyway, so with these sort of meshes that you get from the thing, you see how it's like stuttery and weird, like it's like bouncing around and stuff. The reason why it's all stuttery when it rolls around is because of the material, because there's like that sort of motion, and it's because the material has this sort of wind effect on it. So if you turn off that wind effect, it won't do it. So if I go to the tree leaves here, have they made it so I can turn it off easily? Wind. I'll just turn off wind. It's 0 intensity. Like that. And then it's still moving. I don't know. You change the wind on the material, and that's what's causing that to do that freak out bit. But there you go. That's like you do like cutting of that information there. Yeah. Yeah, still. I want to fix the wind thing. Hang on. Let me change it all to 0. Wind beeps 0 0 0. I think the bark also has wind on it. No, it's still doing it. Why is it windy? I mean, worst case, like, I could just go into the parent thing and just take it out. No, take that out. Yeah, there you go. Won't move now. Yeah, there you go. So now you see the leaves aren't doing that little freak out bit. The trunk will, because it still has wind on the trunk. So you just need to do that on the trunk as well. Yeah, take that off. And you can put like a little thing to turn off the material effect like that if you want. But yeah, there you go. And you can cut it up again and again and again if you want. You need to create a procedural mesh from it and then use a slice. As you see, this thing's still got its collision on it because we cut it in a weird way. But yeah. Sorry, I got itching eye. Oh, what's my eye? Next question we got is Keeves, hey Ryan, would you ever do an updated multiplayer series for UE5 and maybe like a character customization series for multiplayer? Maybe. The multiplayer hasn't really changed anything from UE4 to UE5. We may maybe. It's not on the schedule anytime soon. But yeah, maybe. But you can see elements of multiplayer being used in other series, like the inventory series, for example, has multiplayer stuff built into it. Which, by the way, has got 3 more videos coming soon. I've recorded 3 more today for that inventory series, so it includes saving and loading, and drag dropping. So that's all coming out. Fairy Killer, can you do an advanced health and shield system? What do you mean by advanced? Roy Dash, hey Ryan, my friend, how can you make a tutorial about stamina? I mean, general stamina for attacking, running, and defending. How to make this? Yeah, okay, it's pretty simple. So on your player character, you need to keep track of your stamina, obviously. So variables, stamina, and we'll keep it simple between 0 and 1. 1 is when you're at full stamina. Okay. And then you want to make your functionality to sort of handle that variable. That's generally what you're doing when you create variables. Think of what functions you can use to control that variable. So functions here, we're going to have spend stamina. We're going to have another one for have is stamina. Regain stamina. Stamina. There you go. Yeah, you come up with all these different things you could use it for. So spend stamina, for example. We can do stamina, and we can do subtract that value in there. And do quick value, and set it stamina. Okay, so you do things like this, but then you do other little checks like for exhaustion as well. So if we spend stamina, and stamina now goes below less than or equal to 0, in fact, actually, it's better off if we clamp it first. Clamp. But it's the same system I've done in Mimic. Mimic has like a full-blown stamina system. And it does like exhaustion and timer related stuff. So maybe I'll do a full series of videos on that stuff, how we did it in that. But yeah, so you do this, and if it's less than or equal to that, you just set that you're exhausted. So you'd start no function, start exhaustion. Okay, and then go to this and just call start exhaustion. Yeah. And that'll have a variable saying like is exhausted. Yeah, boolean. Start exhaustion, you're just going to set that to true. Then on spend stamina, you can only spend stamina if you're not exhausted. So we're going to have exhausted branch. You can only do it if you're not exhausted. Like this. We are then going to do, when we start exhaustion, a timer for the exhaustion to start to turn off. So we're gonna have another function there called stop exhaustion, and that's going to simply just turn off the boolean. And on the start exhaustion, you do a timer. Set timer by event, or by function, sorry. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I could do like create event down here, create event, and just choose it from here. Stop exhaustion, and say like 3 seconds. Okay, you have to wait 3 seconds for that exhaustion timer to kick in. And when it's stopped exhaustion, it'll turn off the exhaustion, and that's when you'll start the regain. So when you do this, you can start regaining stamina. So we'll do no, what we're going to do, we want to what do I do? Event maybe? I can't remember what I did now. It may be like an event, because you do it like a tick when it's smoothly transitioning, or a timer to make it tick back. It's up to you how fast you want it to do that. So let's say we've done like a timer based thing. Okay, so on stop exhaustion, we'll do set timer by event, and we'll do every 0.5 seconds on a loop. Turn value, it will be stamina regen, like that. And this will go down and do create event, and we're going to choose that regain stamina. Regain stamina, like that. Regain stamina. We're going to just take stamina and increase it by, I don't know, 0.05, and set it back to stamina. Oh, clamp it, sorry. Clamp. So it doesn't go below or above is 1. And then you check to see if it's greater than. So if it's greater than or equal to 1. There you go. Put that in there. And if it's true, and it is greater than, we want to stop that timer. So the timer handle, we drag out stamina regen and do clear and invalidate timer. What else? We just want to regen stamina as we spend it. So that spends stamina. We're also going to do the timer on here too. So we're on the false though. So we'll just copy that from here. Copy, spend stamina. Put that on the. No, not that one. Stop. This one. Copy that and spend stamina. Goes there. So what will happen is every time you spend stamina, it's going to reset that timer and stop it. So it has to do this. Yeah, and that's basically it. So if I go to my character here and just make a button to spend stamina, so do custom event, cool. No, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll have the 1 key, trust hold 1 key, and we'll just do spend stamina. So this could be like an attack, jumping, you know, whatever you want. And we're going to say it's going to spend 0.2 stamina. And I'll make it tick print string. And we'll make it print the stamina. Like that. Okay. So my stamina should start at 1. And now I go down 0.8. It now regenerates. Go down to exhausted. And it now regenerates. And it should. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, sorry, is when we spend stamina, every time you spend stamina, you want to clear and invalidate the timer. So if we're exhausted, we take the stamina regen timer, clear and invalidate. So it stops it. So otherwise, it's going to carry on going. False. So let's try and get exhausted again. 1, 2, 3. Restart. There you go. It regenerates. Yeah. Now if I just lose a little bit, it'll regenerate quicker. If we go back down to 0, you have to wait a bit, and it'll come back. Okay. And you can tie that to your with your movement speed as well if you want. So I can go to my character's event graph, go to the movement element here, and we can multiply this by the stamina. We do select float, not stamina, sorry, by the exhausted. If you are exhausted, the value is going to be 0.2. If you aren't exhausted, it's going to be value is equal to 1. So plug that back into there. And same goes for this one down here. Now we'll just plug that in there. So now my movement's tied to my exhaustion. So I'm going to run around hitting 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And now I can't move fast. And now it'll pick up. Okay. Okay. So, and maybe another thing you want to try and do as well is make it so that when you are exhausted, you have to wait for it to be fully back before you can use it again. So games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do this, for example. If that's the case, when you start exhaustion, you go 3 seconds to be stop exhaustion. Rather than saying is exhausted is false on stop exhaustion, do that there. The on spend stamina, no, not spend stamina. Stop exhaustion, regain stamina. It's got to regain. That's what we need. So regain stamina. When we clearly validate the timer, that's going to be set is exhausted to false. There. So now, if I am completely worn out and I regen, I shouldn't be able to move faster until my thing's back to 1. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And again, oh, go back down to exhausted. I can't move that fast. We'll probably make a full video on this, so people can see it, and we'll do like a little bar on it as well, so we animate a little UI bar. But yeah, that's how you do a full-blown stamina system. Next question. Robin Dow, yes, no question. I like yes, no questions. Stay quick. When doing a set variable, does the execution wait until that variable is set before moving to the next thing in an execute chain, or is it also fine move on like most execs? It's not asynchronous. It will do it and then complete and move on. Most execs don't just fire and move on. You're thinking of asynchronous ones. Most aren't asynchronous. Asynchronous ones are like AI move 2, for example. Oh, not useful. Hold on. I don't know. Play montage. What's going on? Where am I in? Oh, I'm in a function. That's why. Let's say. Your functions can't have asynchronous events. So yeah, play montage. There we go. So anything that's got this little clock on it, it means it's latent. This means it's going to fire it off and just carry on going. And then it'll be running in the background doing stuff. And that's why it goes off to up here. And then you have these asynchronous events firing off other times. That's what latent means, that little thing there. Functions can't be latent. They have to fire and finish at the same time. Same goes for these gets. Gets can't be latent. So when you're getting a value, it has to get the information like that before it moves on. It will not move on until it's finished that whole bit. Same goes for for loops. It won't move on from the for loop unless it's finished the for loop. So don't try and put like delays in your for loops, for example. Typically quite bad. So yeah, back to your original question. When doing a set variable, execution waits. Like most of them will wait for it. So when we add moving input, it's waiting for it doing its task. Which, when I say wait, it's literally like a fraction of a second. You're not going to ever you just don't notice it. It goes so quick, and then it moves on to the next one. It's only latent ones that will just go on without it. And we often use latent ones for asynchronous stuff, like multiplayer stuff is asynchronous. So that's why you see things like start session. Oh, not in here, you won't. But you'll see start session or no, create session. Sorry, not start session. Create session like that. So that's why you see things like this are latent, because it's got to do something network based, and therefore it doesn't know when it's going to hear back. So it just carries on going and then waits till it hears back and then cracks on. Question from Try Some. Oh, thank you for the donation, Ethan. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Try Some CG question. I submitted my game for Hero Project funding from Sony. Had a chat with them about my game. I want to make sure I land this, but I've never done this before. Any advice? Not really. Everyone's gonna be different about what they want to go after and what they want to do. Always think about their side of the table. Like what do they want to get out of this? What's the benefit for them? And if you can offer something for them that they want, then it's gonna be more likely. And that's true for any deal you're talking about. Yeah, it could be anything, not just games, but any deal in life. If you have something to offer someone and they don't have it or need it or anything like that, it's going to be far more attractive. So think in games specifically, think about like portfolio, like game portfolios. Are they missing something that your game like feels a void in? Like audience say it hasn't got, like some sort of niche it doesn't have. You know, things like that make it more appealing. They're sort of things that get mostly green lit, but yeah. My game's for the new PSVR 2. You'd be quite then it comes down to quality. If you're going for something that's new like that, it's going to be quality. It's going to be a big push for that. So as long as it's good in quality, they'll probably get green lit. Because they want material for it, but they don't want bad material. So they'll make sure it's good. Next question. Hello, Ryan. How can I make a recoil from curve vector? We haven't got time to go into a full recoil system, but I can show you a cheap way of doing it. So if I go into if I just bring in my first person character stuff, first person project, I'll show you a cheap way, and we'll just do first person, and we'll put the rifle in there, and I'll just change my game mode to use the first person game mode like that. Okay, so let's make sure this works as we expect. Yeah, so we add a recoil to this. So here's the cheap way of doing this. If you go to the weapon, wherever you're shooting, so in this case, it's the weapon component. So you've got the shoot happening here. This really only works really well for things like first-person shooters, but I guess you can make it work for third person. But here's the cheat. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the AI, get player controller, and you're going to get add control. No, add what is it? Ask. I don't know. Add pitch. Oh no, sorry, character. Sorry, get character. Get player character. That's it. And then go add pitch. Controller pitch input, and just add 1 to the input here, like that. And what this does, and I'm just going to click. I'm not going to move the mouse. Okay, so you'll see what it does. So like not moving the mouse, click. Yeah. So if you want to go up, you just do -1. So value -1. And then you can make that a variable based upon how strong your gun is. But that is the simplest way you can make recoil work. It's a nice little cheat. Yeah, because it literally is moving your controller, and you can fight it back as well. So if I'm clicking and move my mouse at the same time, I can counteract it. Really easy way of doing it. And if you want to add more like randomness to like the yaw a little bit too, you can do. So I can also add yaw, and I can do a random float in range, and this one won't be as much. Usually don't recoil much in left and right, so we'll do like -0.5 and 0.5. So now you can get more of a random, like all over the place. Right, it works really well. It's a really simple way of doing recoil. Just doing this. None of this complex curve stuff. You can just do this. And if you want to do curve stuff, you can also do like firing time, like how long you've been firing for, holding down the button for. You can increase the value, and that'd be a curve. You can then output the value there. But yeah, try that. I really like this method. It really works quite well. Question: when you package a project, is there a way to convert the blueprint into a native C++ language? No. What typically happens is the blueprint is converted when it's compiled and packaged and playing a game. It's not running through blueprint. It's going to convert it over to assembly code, like what it knows, the machine code. So it is being nativized by the engine anyway. This is why people mistake blueprints with being like worse than C++. It doesn't matter because it's going to convert the blueprint for you to C++, and C++ is going to convert to machine code. So it makes not much really anything different. Yeah, so Vincent's just said it. All blueprints they are all C++ functions. They're just being called that into it. It's just a nice way of seeing it. That's all. It's not its own language. It's just another way of seeing C++ functionality. So yeah. Try some CG. Can you give feedback on my game? What is the right place to share it? Discord something? Yeah, Discord's usually the best place for it because it's not just me. Other people in there too. They can give feedback. If you want feedback me directly, just message me directly on Discord. If I don't respond, I apologize. I'm very busy. Just keep poking me, and I will eventually get there. Or email it to me. How can I do a Blackboard set key type as a gameplay tag? I'm trying to use gameplay tag in Blackboard. You can't. Blackboards are limited to a certain amount of variables, and gameplay tags can't be stored like that. You may be able to turn it into a string and back again. Get debug string. So you can get the string from the gameplay tag, but you can't set it back. So if I drag from there and do tag, yeah, no. Now, like this way it would work. It would be like dot formatting. So it'd be like if you got team.red, that'd be what's printed out. But there's no way to go back, I don't think, unless you do it manually, which is not nice. But no. David Schmike, can you explain active time battle systems rather than turn-based? Yeah, so I actually saw your comment on Discord or Patreon. Can't recall which one it was now. But yes, I saw your comment before. So my Japanese RPG series, that is an active time battle system. The difference between an active time battle system and turn-based system is turn-based is a fixed order. You can manipulate that order by doing certain things, but it's a fixed order. In active time battles, you have a timer that's going to fill up, and that will fill up based upon stats or other things going on to it, and it's all it's doing. Yeah, it's just doing that. Now, the confusion I think you had was that there's still a turn-based element to it, but that's solely because you can't have two things attacking at the same time. You need them to be taking turns. So when the active time battle meter fills up, it just adds them to a queue to execute their attack. So the JRPG series is an active time battle system, like Final Fantasy VII is. But I can see where the confusion is, because there is turns per se, but it doesn't dictate the turn. The turn list isn't dictated right from the start. It gets calculated in real time as the battle goes on. Okay, last question, unfortunately, as we're running out of time. Sans Undertale, then why does Epic suggest turning certain blueprints into C++? Expensive blueprints recommended going to C++. Most blueprints aren't expensive. The most, like, all the stuff you've seen here, not expensive at all. If you're doing anything that's like crazy, like procedural stuff, then you can turn it to C++ and optimize it a bit better there. But that's it. Like, you can get by with blueprints just fine. I would say 90% of the games I see people making using Unreal Engine can be made in blueprints and have no problems. It's only if you're trying to eke out every little bit of performance and you're trying to do some crazy stuff that blueprints is a bit slow on. You still have to translate it. It's just it has to go. It basically has to go through another loop. It has to go to C++ first, and then goes to machine code. Yeah, it just makes it a bit. It's easier when it's more complex stuff. Yeah. Quick question: is the survival series continuing soon? Yes. We've got one video up there being edited. Probably tomorrow. Don't know. Edited very soon. But yes, it's continuing. There's been a load of editing being done recently. There's been a backlog of it. So we've got new inventory. There's 3 new inventory videos, 1 new survival series video, 6 wave game based videos. So how to make a wave based zombies mode. That's coming. That's 6 of those. There's new zombie animations from Luke that are coming very soon as well to Patreon. where you can show how to make zombie animations, and he'll soon be doing ones with UE5 animations with the control rig, and talking about how to animate using that. We've got some other top secret ones coming out soon. More on that soon. And we've got, what else is on the list? A number of how-tos, short how-tos. More action RPG that we got up to episode 9 so far, I think. Recorded and edited. So yeah, there's a backlog of them. We're just working our way through them. Are you making any games yourself right now? Yes, my game is Mimic. You can check out live streams that I've done recently on it. It's a multiplayer survival horror game. I've been working a little bit today as well, in fact, and it's I'm really liking it, and hopefully it does quite well. We've got some cool animations in there now. I finally finished that room, by the way, that Mimic. People who've been watching the Mimic live streams know there's one room that I haven't really touched, and I've got stuck with what to do with it. I've finally done it today. I've got rid of it and done it. So it's all done. So the level is no block out left in it. It's all there. Obviously, there's lots of things to do to it and make it better and improve it as we go. It's looking really cool. In fact, let's show you what the animation looks like so far. Hang on, I can show you. So if you're on the Discord, you can follow the Mimic developments. Where I share bits and bobs of it throughout here. So if I make this nice and big, this is the animation for the Mimic when they reveal themselves. Which in the dark looks pretty gnarly. So yeah, pretty good at that. Yeah, it's cool. And there's other things. Let me just make sure I go over here so I don't reveal anything I shouldn't be revealing. So Luke's also been doing the robot animations for when they grab you. So when the robot comes up to you and grabs you, that's what it's going to start looking like. But they'll pick you up and try and choke you, and you've got to get out of them. So he's been working on that too, which is looking really cool. Yeah, we've got some other cool things happening with the game too. More on that in the near future. We'll see. But yeah, this weekend we're live again with Pokemon. Make sure you do come and check out the Pokemon. So when I finished the last live stream of Pokemon Retro Remake series, I stayed behind a little bit, and I just built a bit of level out so it looks a bit better than a big grey box. So now we've got some like nice looking things in it. So do come by on Saturday when we check out and carry on working on our Pokemon remake. We've made really good progress so far on it. I'm really happy with where we're at with it. I'm interested to see how far we can go. It's really cool. So do come by and check it out. We also got other live streams lined up for the rest of the month of September. We've got another Mimic live stream. We've also got another level design live stream where we're looking at open world design. And we've also got a Let's Create where we're looking at Starfield's reputation system. So we're going to look at how reputation is handled in RPGs like Starfield. And and manage and how to manage all that. So come by and check out the live streams. Obviously videos coming out almost every other day. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Laley. You get access to all the videos early before everyone else. As soon as they're done and edited, they're up and made available to you. So there's loads coming out there. So we've got loads of cool things going on there. Also, don't forget we have also the Creator Challenge. So each month the Patreon members can take part in a Creator Challenge, like a tiny like, mini game jam type thing, where they've got to make one thing. And rather than submit the game, they submit in a project. And I'll review the code and give feedback on the project and code in the form of video. So they literally got 1 day left to finish off the first one, and they'll get the second one on September 1st. And so everyone publicly will see their feedback. That'll be public. So if you want to do it yourself, you're more than welcome to, and learn from that. You're more than welcome to as well. So if you want to get that and get some feedback, direct feedback about what you're doing and how you're doing it, do sign up to Patreon, and anyone can take part in that. It's a monthly thing. Pretty cool. Thank you so much everyone for joining us live tonight. It's been a pleasure. It's been good fun. We've made some cool stuff, and hopefully you enjoyed all the stuff. And Romsey, really question. Okay, quick question. For multiplayer FPS using mesh, for multiplayer hands and mesh for everyone to see full body, do I need to have 2 weapons each attached to mesh? Oh, mesh with 2. 2 weapons, 2 meshes. One for first person, one for the third person. That's how I did it for Fireteam. So yeah, 2 meshes. It's just one is seen by owner, one isn't. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much everyone for tonight's live stream, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and if you want to support the channel, head on patreon.com/FireLady. Thanks everyone, good night and take care. Bye.